clearance to come this way.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
I'm alive. Who needs to die? Even though I've nothing but disgust for your corporate overlords, at least the invasion stirred up some much-needed chaos in Arcadia.
Have I mentioned that I got no interest in your opinions of my overlords?
We can always talk about you then. Like how you were the victim of corporate greed and hubris.
Reckon I wasn't clear. I got no interest in your opinions about anything.
Hey now, that's mine. You lost, stranger? I don't see a lot of new faces in these parts. What are you? Order? Protectorate? Anti? Well, don't that beat all? An unaffiliated freelancer. You and I are a dying breed. Me, I'm a sprat trapper. Cute little things, but their tallow and hides fetch a high price. Used to be Protectorate, then worked for the Order, then Anti. Whoever's calling the shots on a given day. Now, I'm just waiting for the dust to settle so I can find out who I work for tomorrow. Gregory? Well, I'm glad to hear he's still kicking. Loyal customer. Very particular about his sprats. These being hard times, I've had to raise my prices. Gal's gotta eat, and I don't care for sprat meat. No, that was me. I was enjoying a bottle a little too much and spilled it. Not to worry, I cleaned off the sprouts. Hypothetically, if you happen to be weighed down by a bottle of prestige brandy, I'd be more than happy to take it off your hands. Aren't you resourceful? Take all the sprats you need. Next stop, inebriation station. Population, me. Pleasure doing business. Excuse me. Acting like I'm not even here. Now that is some damn fine brandy.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to Howard Park?
Any luck with the sprat hunt? Decent quality, all things considered. Frankie's work is second to none. You can tell the good doctor I'll be around shortly, armed with needle and thread, calipers, and my finest jar of glass eyes. Not to worry, they're perfectly lifelike. Be seeing you, Agent.
Algorithmic dissonance?
Reminds me of
Taucetti right after the merger.
Calculating
Had to wait for my number to be called just to get rations and a cup.
We can predict the future. Hope these folks don't have to wait as long.
And ascend to a state of virtual power.
When I asked the seer for medical specialists, a plumber was not what I had in mind. Trust in the Order to think outside of the box. Take this. On behalf of the Order and the displaced, I thank you. Now, will there be anything else? Thanks to you, our automechanical doctor has been dispensing medication and setting broken limbs with tireless efficiency. A little token of my appreciation for a job well done. Now, will there be anything else? From a medical standpoint, the taxidermist doctor was an unconventional choice. But I can't deny the results. Here, you've earned it. Now, will there be anything else? How can I be of service? My supplies are running low, but then again, so are my bits. Very well. Suppose I can't help anyone if I'm poor.
You beheld that new rifle up at the monastery? The Oracle?
The one Barbie designed, right? Uses a tracking algorithm, never misses. Sounds ambitious, even for him.
I'd give my tenure for an hour alone with it and a Mantisaur at 2 clicks.
I suppose I could spare 0.004% of my daily cycle to say hello.
The meaning of life is new life, and we are the...
Closer at hand.
Well, these cultists ain't dumb. First thing you do after seizing an objective is bar the front door. But there's always another way inside.
Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these traitorous fools, I'd be forced to use one or two as an example to the rest.
We can hear those wriggly little grub fingers of yours. Bring them close so we can chop them off.
Stop your silliness, fool! The only ones losing body parts around here today are you and your traitorous friends!
.36 cubed divided by the standard rate of fluid flow, and then you multiply by, is it 30 or, oh, hello.
Look at the state of this poor fool. They just left her bleeding out? Exsanguination is an art. Where's the precision, the pride in their work? This is just embarrassing.
There's a cultist behind you. Wait, surely she isn't with you. Fine. Just please keep her away from me. Architect's mercy, thank you. It is so much easier to be polite when I needn't fear all of my bones sliding out of my body. Oh, dear Archivist Clemens has been so strange lately. So distant, so agitated. And not his normal agitation, mind you. This is something different. Much worse. He's like a wire stretched beyond its breaking point. Never a harsh word to anyone, but being in his presence, well, it's as if his stress is infectious. Best not to push him. He's deeper in the facility, working on something he deemed to be of the utmost importance. Either he is still below, continuing said work, or he is quite dead. And with all those cultists gallivanting about, I don't fancy his odds.
Please, with the way my so-called brethren are comporting themselves, he's more likely to die of boredom. If I was in charge here, all of you'd be dead. He soon will be.
Yes. I'm sure you'll kill them quite well. The crazed cultist, people like your friend here, have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient. You can attempt such, but if my current state is any indication, the cultists are unlikely to be sporting with you. Oh, there's no such thing as invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We've an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate. The scanner is an optical device designed to detect electrical signals and the N-rays given off by all living beings. Visible or not, the cultists still give off N-rays. It was stored nearby. But with the damage to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening.
Our task here is yet unfinished. There are still traitorous swine drawing breath. I suppose you know what you are doing, but we'll need to return eventually to finish this lot off. There's the N-ray scanning device the scientist was talking about.
I spy my next victim. I mean, a hostile combatant.
I'm coming for you! Advancing to hasten their demise.
Hey, that must be the scanner there.
Unfriendly company. They're mine.
Straight at them!
I appreciate your help. Dying makes it so difficult to see the results of your theses. You can use it to see the wires connecting this door to the nearest override panel. Try not to electrocute yourself. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening.
That should do it. Let's get on with the killing.
You've opened the way forward. Very good work.
my death!
The void. You leave at once.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
You there. You must leave. Is that a cultist with you?
Don't worry. I'm not like these idiots running around here haplessly. If I was here to kill you, it would be no random thing. You'd know it. Are we here to kill this guy, Commander? Good point. We'll kill him after we get the information.
I have nothing to say to the likes of you, except if you attempt to interrupt my work, you will no doubt meet the same end as your fellows. Leave, and you may yet live.
This guy is hilarious. Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes how much more worried he should have been about me than all the other nonsense around here.
Victor, I fully understand the importance of your work. This is exactly why I push you so. Your moral justifications for delaying your delivery are misguided. Dead is dead. What matter is it if their ends come in 1 minute or 3? If you seek to be humane in your duties, fine. So long as I get the explosives in time. But if we fail to act, the Order will be lost forever. Collateral damage was always inevitable, Victor. You knew this. And the longer you take in your laboratory, the greater your risk of being caught becomes. If that happens, you know what must be done. But I should remind you that such a failure will result in vastly more suffering for all parties involved. We need those explosives now, Victor. Let's finish this.
Look at the sad little sprat.
Friend of friends are a greater ally than any number of fellow scienticians. Oh, thank you very, very much for dealing with those cult... it seems you missed one.
What? Where? I thought we dispatched with all of those traitorous charlatans. Fine. Just trying to add some levity into this pathetic creature's drab existence.
I can see it would be best for me to tactically overlook your comrade. Very well. I see you possess our N-ray scanner. Ooh, ingenious device. If I'd had it, I may have evaded being trapped here. Oh, I shouldn't have had to worry. Damn that Victor and damn his hubris. Fitting that his experiment would cause so much strife, that he would be untouched by the ensuing pandemonium. Pardon my excitement. It's been an eventful day. I don't know the specifics, only that Victor was performing a procedure utilizing processed N-rays. When those cultists flooded the range, they damaged the N-ray canisters. In the ensuing chaos, Victor's experiment was destroyed. I know some cultists were killed, but many more still live, moving unseen through the range. Because he refused to follow procedure. He didn't take an assistant or allow anyone to see his data, and now it's all consigned to oblivion. What a waste. There's no such thing as invisibility. The cultists are out of phase. Also, I strongly recommend against exposing yourself to processed N-rays. Most of the cultists died immediately upon exposure, and according to past experiments, those that haven't are experiencing accelerated organ liquefaction. But if you're not attached to the solid state of your organs, I suppose it might be nice to be less visible for a few hours. Although it requires further investigation and experimentation, out of phase refers to a shift in the dimensional presence of these cultists. They are physically here, but only partially, hence their unseen state. It's fascinating. But the outstanding fear for my life has made it difficult to think scientifically. Oh, believe me, this is more excitement than I ever wanted. I shall.
Move up! Let's get you healed. Someone call for a medic. Out of sight and on the way.
I cannot believe this. How many times must I say only death lies ahead? Observe. You have been pronounced. That is over. Please. I never wanted this situation to escalate like this. You must understand. But now, all that I wanted is cast to the wind. There is but one option left to me. To save Arcadia, to ensure the future, we must both die. Because the Order cannot be hindered by war or by compromise. Any obstacles must be removed, as much as I regret the need to do so. If DeVries does not receive my explosive, she will resort to a violent assault. Many will die, pointlessly, and in agony. I can at least deliver them an instant, painless death. I thought this explosive vest would be an unnecessary precaution. All I can hope is that by blasting us both from the field of play, the Order shall find its way to truth. Want has nothing to do with it. I have very specific instructions on how to proceed in the face of contingencies such as yourself. And you cannot possibly understand whether I am or am not capable of martyrdom. You do not know my depth of character. At the end of all things, my decisions were predestined. I am not at liberty to divulge the reasoning behind my actions. You're not with the Order. You cannot understand why this would be. Could I explain, the words would be lost on you. Very well, very well. I can spare words with you, explain my perspective. It won't prevent me from doing what I must. If the Order is not prevented from reaching its true potential and solves the universal equation, all scientific uncertainty and any associated suffering will end. If what you say is true, then you have my tentative thanks. However, scientific certainty would absolutely have prevented that from happening. We would have predicted it. DeVries opened my eyes. The Order is on the path to absolute truth. And if they are not interrupted, this truth can be pursued. The one right path for humanity revealed to us. Politics cannot bind us. Uncertainty cannot strangle. And no one can be allowed to waltz in and hurl our plans into disarray. What? How do you not understand the present situation? What coward would strap an explosive device to himself? That's not all this. Helping DeVries, completing the work on my explosives is important. It matters. DeVries agrees. Augustine couldn't have done such a thing. She was on a secret mission at the time. I don't wish to believe you, but what you're saying has the ring of truth to it. I've been a fool going along with this farce. But it stops now. My relationship with Augustine is at an end.
This poor fool seemed intent on doing himself and us both. Impressive work convincing him otherwise. Let's say I have a go at him with my disemboweling knife. See what he knows. Your loss. Don't like to boast, but I am quite the artiste with a knife.
I believe that's another thanks I owe you. You certainly keep interesting company. I found a way to, via the use of processed N-rays, send objects out of phase. It was inconsistent, but I was close to isolating the procedure. DeVries needed explosives for her plan. By making them unseen, the explosives could be placed as efficiently as possible. No one would be maimed or injured, just killed. Saying that out loud now, it sounds unreal. But somehow, I convinced myself that leaving no survivors was more humane. It's a shame I can't speak to a vicar. I appreciate your consideration. Things could have been very different had your cooler head not prevailed. Here, it is the key to my quarters. Take whatever you find. That will ensure that I cannot use any of it to further DeVries' aims, even if I wanted to. You've certainly convinced me I cannot remain here. May we meet again, when the paths of our lives are at greater apexes. I owe you not only my life, but the sheer knowledge that you've turned me from a terrible path. I will make the most of it. I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, damn it! We've killed every traitor in this place, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch wasn't among them. The leader of a cell. In this case, that would be Ziegler. And extinguishing him is obviously our next priority. They were operating under his orders. But since he wasn't here to lead them in person, they would have maintained regular contact using one of our communication devices. I saw one of them earlier. We should go see what information it will yield to us. I'll mark your map with its location.
Victor, I fully understand the importance. Dead is, but if we, and the longer, but...
This is it, the Dawn's communication device. Let's see what I can find on it. Not much, but there are a few encrypted messages from Ziegler reporting on a rift in Paradise Island he was sent to study. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways. I'm right behind you. But not in a threatening way.
Thank you again for your help. I shall collect my belongings and, well, leave for my life once it's insane.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return?
Algorithmic dissonance?
The paradigm is a self-centered derivative. Since the schism, the Protectorate have rewritten history to exclude our teachings.